Good morning, everyone. My name is Suzui. Today I will be the host to host today talk about global warming. Okay. Mother Terra, the world is getting warmer, but humans are cold. The world is getting warmer, but nobody enjoys her warmth. Turn on the cooler even during winter, for Earth is getting warmer and nobody can save her. What do you guys think about this poem?
Can I know why the title is Mother Terra? What's the meaning behind it?
Terra is an alternative name for world. So mother is like something like Mother Nature, almost like that lah.
Oh, Mother Earth.
Mother Earth.
Okay, maybe I'll just give my opinion. I think it's a pretty simple and straightforward poem. And I see that the repetition of the word warm is repeated in several lines. So I think it really emphasizes that global warming is really serious now. And yeah, I think it's pretty simple to understand.
Okay, so I'll go to the last stanza. Turn on the cooler even during winter, for Earth is getting warmer and nobody can save her. So, is it true people turn on the cooler if it's during winter? Because we live in Malaysia, so we always on the aircon anyway. But has anybody lived in a temperate country before during winter?
The second stanza is more like a mockery. You know, when even if you are cold, just turn on the aircon. It's like I'm showing that humans are selfish. Even if they are cold, they still turn off. You know, they still use electricity in, you know, like selfish.
Are we past the point of no return when you say nobody can save her? Like, is Mother Earth still salvageable? Can we make it right and lessen the effects of global warming, or are we too late for that?
Nobody can save her if we continue to be selfish. If we continue to do the the selfish acts, we still not care about our earth, then it will only be impossible to save. In the context of this poem lah.
Can I give my opinions on Adriana's question? Like, are we at the point of no return? I think, personally, even if like a lot of people practice like habits to save energy or like reduce the usage of carbon emissions and whatnot, I think it's still like, if you accumulate the amount of people, it's still just a small population of the earth. So it's not, it's not really helping. It is helping, but very, it's like very minimum help.
The thinning of ozone layer, we cannot just we cannot do something that will, cover the ozone layer back. So
right?
Yeah. So for global warming, I think the most you can do is just like lower the temperature, which you can do by planting trees maybe, and what else?
Maybe increasing the amount of oxygen.
Yeah. So in the means of the ozone layer, I don't think we can do anything to cover the earth from the ultraviolet rays from the sun.
Do you know that eating meat and dairy also have to do with the climate change?
Yeah, the carbon emissions is quite a lot from livestock actually.
Yeah, it's like even the cattle, like small cattle is
Small
a
cows.
small cow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it produces methane through their digestion, maybe on their fat.
So Zui, is the suggestion that we should eat less meat? Does that help?
Maybe yes, eat less meat, become a vegetarian is the best. So the livestock will be lower. Livestock will be lower like chicken. So no more farmer will be, how to say, will be rare the chicken, cow, cattle, anything. So more plants are eating vegetarian better. Even
But
better in our health.
if we eat less meat and eat more vegetables, there are less plants and more animals in the world. Am I wrong?
Maybe get a balance lah.
But also like when it comes to that, supply and demand also is quite important in this kind of thing, because like maybe you don't want to eat it, but the supply is always going to be there. So it's really hard to like lessen the impact of those stuff. So the only way to really lessen it is by the suppliers themselves. How they produce their supply is what's going to make a big difference ultimately.
Or do you think that bioengineering food will be better? Like fake,
That meat,
like the lab food, lab.
uh, I think that would be better, but I feel like we're not at that point where we have that much technology yet. But
Yeah.
maybe in the future we will be.
Maybe that one is quite a good substitute on the real livestock.
Yeah, because I saw somewhere that people were actually experimenting on crickets as a source of protein. But
Crickets.
some people, crickets, they feel a bit weird about that because it's a cricket, but it's still good protein actually. But there's also that stigma, people might not want to eat bugs, which I totally understand. I wouldn't want to eat a cricket too.
Okay. My in this poem, my favorite line is the world is getting warmer, but nobody enjoys her warmth. I think living in Malaysia like can relate to that line because because I think half of the year we experience the hot weather, you know, and I think it's unbearable because like even you're sitting in front of the fan, it's still hot, you know. So I think I can relate to nobody enjoys her warmth.
In my opinion, that Malaysia is every day also hot, quite hot. Just nighttime, just nighttime will be better than the early mornings. Yeah, the first standard like the world is getting warmer, but nobody enjoys her warmth. I think that when the world is getting warmer and warmer, the humanity just open their like air cons, fridge. They don't think that that is the cause of the temperature, the high temperature. So they just open it. They don't care about 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 the climate change. They just think that okay, it's very hot, so I just open it.
Like they just think about themselves lah.
Yeah, they just think about themselves. They just open it, switch on.
But is it like about the climate change? Is it like can apply to the like a change from a cold weather to from warm? Like what's I mean, can it apply to the you know like the place with the cold places like when they experience the early snow? You know, like it's not even a winter, but their places already have snow.
Nothing to changing. You mean the changing of the climate? Even is that day is not a winter, but starting, why suddenly have snow coming out of the sky.
Okay, so your interpretations are all correct lah. But I want to explain further about this poem. So the first stanza, it shows the contrast between environment and human. Humans are cold, the world is getting warmer. So the first line, we meant the warm literally, but for humans, cold, we meant it like vague. It's vague. It means like humans are cold. It's not that humans are freezing. No, it's the attitude. And then the world is getting warmer, but nobody enjoys the warmth. I would like to see the earth as a mother because it provides everything for us. But us being us, we won't appreciate. We only appreciate when it's too late. So similarly in this case, normally people will long for their mother's warmth, but not this warmth, not this warmth lah. A mother's warmth is usually calming kan, soothing, but this one is painful and exhausting. So hence the title Mother Terra, because I see the earth as a mother. And then the second stanza is a mockery. It's like we are saying, turn on the aircon, I know you're hot. Instead of fixing what's going wrong, what's gone wrong, the poem is telling people to live with it. Like this damage is inevitable and poor us that we need to go through this. In reality, it's not like that. So hence the last line, nobody can save her. If we continue to be selfish, then it will be impossible to save the earth. But it's quite right that there's nothing we can do pun to save it. Like I'm not saying that it's too late, but I think it has come to a point where it would be hard lah. It would be hard to save the earth. So in my opinion, we don't really have the power to change this, like Adriana said last week. But we can change minds. We can educate the importance of saving the earth. So like maybe if we work together, then those who have power might actually consider to fix this. You know the stick story where one stick can be broken, but if there's many sticks, you can't break it. You know the story, right? So similar. One voice may be ignored, but if there are many voices, maybe like the government lah, it would be harder for them to ignore. So do you think, what do you think in Malaysia lah, what is most likely the reason for global warming? What human activity you see Malaysians always do that can contribute to this issue?
Simply throwing rubbish.
Throwing rubbish?
Into the river.
Okay, I want to say something about the usage of aircon. So as you know that everyone uses air conditioner in their daily life, and I think it's inevitable that we reduce global warming when there's usage of aircon, because aircons emit what's this chemical
Chlorofluorocarbon.
Okay, chlorofluorocarbon,
CFC.
and it
CFC.
yes, CFC. It thins the layer of the ozone layer. So I think if we still use aircon, there's nothing really we can do unless we abolish the usage of aircons altogether. So I think it's a role for engineers, I think, to like make innovations of air conditioners so that they won't have an effect on the environment. Because if we still lessen the usage but there's still emission of CFC, then there's really not much impact unless there's environmental friendly air conditioner. So that's my take on aircon.
In my opinion, I think that things that using like the waste will be, how to say, like technology that can very help to the environment is much more expensive than the original things are, like, how to say, like a power saving fridge. It will be cost more than a normal fridge. Like aircon that produce HCFC, like hydrochlorofluorocarbon, HCFC, will be better than CFC, easily to deplete when you release than CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. It also quite expensive, so people are rather to buy a normal aircon fridge rather than buying the, how to say, the environmentally friendly electronic appliances, because it's much more expensive. I think the manufacturers must be lower down the price so that everyone that can use the environmentally friendly electronic appliances.
I think that's also because they want profit, because they know that, oh, if they market it as something that's environmentally friendly, there's gonna be people who would pay for that price, even though maybe it's not. Yeah, it's maybe slightly more expensive to manufacture than a standard aircon, but because of the whole, oh, it's gonna save you electricity bill and all, that's why they make it so expensive. But when in reality, maybe it's not that expensive to manufacture. You just know people were gonna buy it because of all of the plus points, so they can get more profit.
I think one of the things that always happens in Malaysia, and I think in other places too, is open burning that affects the ozone layer a lot. There are some factories which do like they burn stuff and then they somehow manage to produce a good smoke. I don't know how they do that, but yeah, that's good. And I wish we have a lot more of that. I guess it's in Singapore, if I'm not mistaken.
I also think like from the factories, like they release the what we call the chemical substances from the smoke itself, and all the smokes like be floating at the sky. So I think it's also bad for our ozone layer, plus the smell and all of that. So I think our government did not even care about that, because because most of the factories in Malaysia kind of give profit to the government, so they be like, oh, it's just a smoke, like, don't be sensitive.
Today will be stop right here. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.